Yeah, so we lost. So how many is that? How many minutes is 300 milliseconds?
Less than a second.
Oh, 300 milliseconds?
Yeah.
So I think I have it on like... I'll check what I have it on. Real quick. I have it on...
Rush. Hey, there it goes. Rush. Beautiful. So, we are live.
We are live. So, welcome back to the Scrub Cup North American OverPUGS casted by HaVee and Third. I am HaVee and I am accompanied by Third.
I'm Third. So, we should have a good match coming up. We have Hyperdimension versus OnePierce. You're getting it right. Second. Okay. Where do you turn the chat off?
Just type in chat, hi chat.
That works.
Alright, so I'm gonna coin flip. So we're gonna coin flip for the first map. Who gets the first map pick, so it's Tails. So to decide, the first map goes to Hyperdimension. Hyperdimension.
I'm not sure what either of these teams really want to pick. I think we saw OnePierce run a lot of a Winston Diva style dive comp. So I think that it's very possible that we'll see some King of the Hill map on this, since that's very strong for them.
And then we could see...
For Hyperdimension, I'm not really sure what Hyperdimension wants. They seem to be really wanting to run the dumbasses Hanzo. So it's possible that we might see some maps that's good for him, like Hollywood Offense, or something like Hanamura might be useful. I don't really know.
So they are going to pick Nepal. So the first map we're going to be on today is Nepal. So this is the final of the Scrub Cup North American OverPUGS. As previously said, we have Hyperdimension versus OnePierce. Hyperdimension in the first round got a 2-0 over the other team, with OnePierce got a 2-1. Hyperdimension made up of SK, Walrus Effect, Dumbass, Loki Doki, Penetration, and the Sock. And OnePierce is Fenrir, Zifrix, Slickers Pie, Discotheque, Stardust, and Symmetra. So we're going to be going in the game pronto.
Traveling to Nepal.
Okay, so we've chosen Nepal. Our first map is going to be Nepal Sanctum. The indoor map lends itself to Junkrat play, which is pretty good for Hyperdimension here, since Penetration does like to play a lot of the Junkrat. I'm not sure what else they plan to run. This map can work pretty well in Reinhardt. Especially, Fenrir also enjoyed playing the Junkrat earlier today. So I'm not really sure what all comps they're going to run or who really has the advantage here. Looks like we're going to see a Junkrat coming in from both sides, and as well as a Winston. But it looks like Fair Mercy is going to be coming out from Hyperdimension over here, which could be really effective if they decide to run Fenrir on the Junkrat.
Yeah, so
Fenrir's going to switch to the Genji. Very traditional dive comp. Let's spectate that a bit.
So in the red shorts, we have Hyperdimension, and in the proverbial blue shorts, we have OnePierce, and they're going to be opening up here. Zifrix looking for some poke over the pillars while the rest of the team makes a bit of points. Symmetra goes straight in, hyper aggressively here. Gets booped about and actually jumps off the edge. Symmetra making a pretty fatal mistake, even meanwhile we have Fenrir harassing the backline. Penetration trying to take on one against the Genji.
Here. Looks like not going to work out too well for him. He goes really low to the Pharah, dies to the Pharah.
Now this point is going in favor of Hyperdimension. They do capture it quite easily, the fight going in their favor. However, what we do see is Zifrix having to kill himself as he just play a bit too offensively. Wants to get back to his team and know the ult charge as much as possible. So we are seeing Penetration playing very pushed up here, playing way outside from his team. Does actually make a retreat, or at least a start of one, as the other team is getting ready to push. Sifrix is back, Fenrir going right in, leading the charge, going right into Penetration.
Yeah, trying to take up Penetration here. Not quite going to be able to get him though. He backs off, gets healed by the Mercy. However, he succeeded in making HaVee back off all the way to point.
I'm seeing Symmetric going for a harsh driver. Rocket Barrage incoming from Damas, maybe too far away from the fight to get much done, and it does get picked up by Sifrix. Meanwhile, we did see the swap plays off Fenrir and Symmetric pick off Lucky Doki. We do see SK show that he is the more dominant Lucio, ripping off Slick as Pied. He does die to Sifrix. Penetration makes it equal against Symmetric. 1-for-1 trades. No one really getting leeway in the fight, but now Penetration using his Riptire.
Yeah,
maybe not going to get ready.
Sifrix is just kind of sitting on his own over as a soldier, and there's really not much the enemy team can do about it. They're trying to dive him, but it looks like he's going to survive here.
There is a resurrection that comes out from the side of One Piece to try and regroup the team as quick as possible. This hit it does get trickled and picked up, and they can't really engage without a diva, especially against that Junkrat. It's going to do extra damage when there's no DM coming out.
Fenrir has his Dragon Blade. He needs to get some effectiveness out of that. It's going to be difficult against a Junkrat and a Pharmacy. Pharmacy will be in the air, and Junkrat you got to worry about his spam, his trap. But he'll probably use that pretty early here to try and take that out. Let's see what he does.
As the point takes up 9%, Sifrix charges up his tactical visor, and the dragon is becoming ephemeral. He's going for some slashes. Can't get anything just yet, and the Diva Bomb comes down.
Mercy almost takes out the Pharah as well.
Worst effect though, gets 2, but does get taken down by Sifrix visor. Now we have Penetration charges 11 point with Damas. Damas now, he's with Slicker's Pie. Sifrix is now moving to the point as well, but spooked up by the wind speed. They're back on the point now. HaVee Dimension take the first round of the pool. HaVee Dimension 1-0 up on this Nepal. Winning Nepal Sanctum. Now we're going our next map on to Nepal Shrine. What do you think One Piece need to change here to try and get leeway over HaVee Dimension?
Well, so I think the main thing is they had a lot of trouble dealing with Fire Mercy. They switched Cypher Soldier at the end, but it really wasn't enough to deal with it. I think Discotheque sitting on the Diva might help out a lot if she can shut down a lot of that Pharah and kind of shut her out of the fight. If Stardust on Mercy tries to damage boost Cypher a lot more, I think that might help.
We do also see Fenrir going away from that Genji onto the Reaper and Symmetric going on to Zayas. They're not going to have Winston the side of One Piece. They're not going to have a real main tank to lead the dive, but they're just going to run in straight away.
I can see the Reaper working if he manages to get a lot of damage into the Winston really quick, kind of taking him out of the fight. We'll see how it works. Winston goes really low to the Reaper. That selfie was coming in clutch, but not enough to save him from Penetration's grenades.
Does get taken out, and now Penetration with a Junkrat trap on the Discotheque gets really close and knocks him directly out of that. He's doing a lot of work so far this fight. Wars Effect getting the final hit on that kill. And now Symmetra trying to save 11 point.
Very high charge, but
very high charge, but
save him.
Doesn't have much to point after Wars Effect takes him out. And now this fight has gone in favor of HaVee Dimension. Really just picked off people early in the fight thanks to Penetration. And then
Fenrir wins the Pharah duel. That could be crucial. As
that does give them
off Reaper.
That does give them a pick to work with. It's gonna be quite tight, and it might be that Damas does get back before they can engage. If they engage right now, they could do it, but it looks like they're waiting for maybe a tiny bit too long as the Mercy just gets back, and now they're finally going in, but Damas is just back into the fight as they engage. Sifrix takes good enough Penetration, but Warrior's Effect takes out Fenrir there, instantly going down, and now Damas is really alone up in the skies. He has Sifrix to shoot him, and he does have the tactical visor available and uses it straight away. Sifrix looking for anything with tactical visor, doesn't look like he can get anything. Discotheque does take out the sock, and now Warrior's Effect with his tactical visor available could counter that out. Sifrix does actually finish up SK and onto Damas. Has better aim as a normal hit scan player does with the tactical visor. He picks up Lucky Doki as well. Sifrix
just
turns out he can aim better without the
team,
visor.
picking up 4, including the Mercy that was coming in to try and res. That was crucial for him.
Sifrix getting more kills in normal hit scan mode than he did with the visor there, and that might be probably due to Disco. They don't even have a Diva, I'm not sure. Sifrix might just have better aim than the visor does. There's no Diva from the other side of the team. And now SK going with a harsh beat drop engage, going right in here. They start getting the protection to get his team some room, and now they're going straight in. Dumbass though gets picked off as Slicker Spy, probably flying a bit too close to the sun, a bit too close to the ground, and gets picked off by the healers. Now Fenrir takes the penetration, and now the Justice rains from above, but it's a two-man res from Lucky Doki.
Cypher is still entirely uncontested over here, just spamming into the Pharah, taking her out, annoying this Lucio and Mercy, doing so much damage.
And so Fenrir take out penetration there.
It's Brazen and Monkey doing a lot of damage. The Lucio's just dancing on point, but he's just feeding at this point, not even doing anything.
And the slide of Team One Piece now take the lead off of that fight, having a about 20% percentage lead here, as this fight is about to engage. With Slicker Spy's beat drop available, Sifrix with the visor, and Discotech with the Diva Bomb, as well as a Graviton. Meanwhile, on the other side they have a Junkrat Tire and
advantage
a
very solidly in the favor of Hybrid. Very solidly in the favor of One Piece.
And this fight is in favor of One Piece. They take out Dumbass and penetration thanks to Fenrir and Sifrix's hard work. And now it's really a 4v6 fight at this point.
This map is massively in the favor since they didn't even use any ultimate abilities to try and win that. To just win and they crush the fight. They use Tac Visor, picks up one. Look, probably gonna pick up a couple more. Picks up Soldier.
They give a Lucky Doki as well. Forces him to res off SK.
But they didn't even touch the point.
And it's 1-1. One Piece take that in quite commandeering fashion. So it's now 1-1. The changes that One Piece made: Symmetra onto the Xayah, Fenrir onto the Pharahs, and Discotech onto Diva seem to be working. And now, had Dimension are put onto the back foot here, they're forced to make the changes themselves. And it looks like it's going to be SK switching on to the McCree and Walrus Effect switching on to the Mace. Now they're running a 4 DPS, 1 healer, 1 tank comp on the side of Hyper Dimension. Not the most usual comp you're going to be seeing in a competitive game.
They're choosing to run a Mei without a Lucio, which is a very uncommon call. It's very difficult to get a good wall off if you're not there first. However, they still do have a chance. I just find that a very odd choice. They're running Mei Hanzo against a Far Mercy comp, which is usually not the call, but possibly might work.
The Sock does get some
help against the Diva. The Diva is almost demaxed by being frozen, but Cypherex taking her out with a rocket.
And then the Dumbass takes it back. Now he can give her a with a Scatter Arrow and a normal arrow. Now SK trying to rain death on the Stardust. Can't really get it done, but now the point is slightly being captured in favor of One Piece. Fenrir takes out Lucky Doki. There's no mercy for the side of Hyper Dimension. Now Sock trying to tickle Symmetra on point, and as well as Slicker Spy. Fenrir comes on the point trying to rain death from above. Slicker Spy takes up SK, and now it's the Sock really only left from the objective.
Sock retreats off the point, tries to regroup with his team as Penny goes in and summarily dies. However,
he does actually
his grenades on death pick up the Lucio kill. That's very unfortunate, but
it might allow them to push.
I don't think so. Walrus Effect going down here. They're just backing out way. However, Discotech dies. His mech dies at least. But they may have an opportunity. They're still trading. They're not even really fighting here. Nice rockets from above. Barrage from half a mile up. Going to do big damage. Picks up.
Miles high. Picks up Dumbass as well. So we're seeing so much work done from Fenrir here. Well, Sifrix picking up penetration. And now they're just using the Sparrow and they're just using the Soldier. They're not really being contested. They're just decimating the side of Hyper Dimension. But now Hyper Dimension, look at their ults. They do have the ult advantage here. They do have everything except for Morris's Effect High Noon. And then on the other side, they're nearing a Diva Bomb, but they don't have a Graviton or Barrage available for the next coming fights. And now I've had the Divisor from SK, the first fight.
Very nice. Picks up SK as the Advisor's bursting him down before he even gets a chance to kill the Pharah. Hit scan counters Pharah? I think not. Master's Dragons picks up one.
Come out.
But
a tire from penetration. They used, I believe, 3 ults there to almost no avail. The only kill coming from that was one from Dumbass's hands at arrows, and he also just forced to stick out a mech. It just gets forced out a mech, but he does Dumbass die to Fenrir. SK picks up Stardust.
SK needs to
down.
Fenrir here. He's damaged, so it looks like he's going to. Nice res comes out. That's probably going to be enough to win in the fight.
A breakdown from Slicker Spy, trying to keep them alive for as long as possible. Symmetra coming back on the point 8, maybe trying to charge out that Graviton. possibly to combo it with Discotheque if he does have that Diva Bomb. He does go down. Symmetra could
nice kills from SK on Cypherex as he comes back into the point.
Now it's just like a spy trying to contest 99%. If they don't kill him, he contests his 99% and it forces them into overtime. Now if they lose one fight, they're going to be forced to lose the game. And if we look at the ults again, the ult advantage is completely switched, with no ult really being close to available, except from possibly Penetration's Tire for the side of HaVee Dimension. But meanwhile, you have Symmetra having his Graviton, Stars having the Res, and Ephemerate and Discotheque and the Diva and Fire being very close to their ults as well. So surely they can just wipe them with a Symmetra Graviton and Fenrir's.
Yeah, the Graviton Barrage combo should be able to do a lot of damage. They got to get it off a good one though.
But the longer they wait out here,
he goes down. That's unfortunate. As Fenrir.
The longer they wait here, the more amount of time they allow HaVee Dimension to charge their ults. And they're pretty close to Dragons, and they have that Mercy Res charge that's so important. Now Mercy can hire, and she can stop this Graviton combo from coming out. The
Barrage comes out without the Graviton. Interesting. Does a good bit of damage, but gets shut down before it can get any kills. However, spamming from above, a triple res. Here's the chance for a Graviton.
And now a 7-star is being activated, picks off Dumbass Discotheque, and now SK using his visor. Finally, the Graviton is used, but is it all too late?
It's too late. They needed to use the Graviton a long time before that. When they got the triple res, that would have been a really nice and clean Graviton. Farah could have followed up on that damage. However, it's just too late. They've got one more fight here. Still have ult advantage, so
we did see War's effects and Dumbass use their ults right at the end of that fight.
Here, if he gets bubbled, if he gets damaged by Mercy, he should be able to cut right through their team. Since they have no Diva, they really don't have anything to counter that. The closest thing they have is a Primal Rage coming up soon. That's not even up.
And this third match is the best of five. It's coming down to the final of SK.
Picks up one.
The visor was...
Doesn't want to give up high ground. It's good that it picks up two. Penetration also goes down, so this fight should go the way. One period.
Should go in the way of HaVee Dimension as SK picks off
Fenrir. Almost goes down. They have to kill the Mercy now.
Stardust has, I think,
Mercy goes down. That's the last couple. It's the side last one. Nice rocket picks up. Cypherex.
It looks like
99%. They're not even going to be able to touch, probably.
Well, they do touch though. Dumbass gets on playing Widow. Not the best contest hero, but does get on that. But it's still too little too late as the point is won and the third round is taken. So now it is match point. Match point to the side of One Piece. Cypherex doing a lot of work as well as Fenrir. Cypherex picks off Symmetra. Probably not who's going to be picking, but possibly could be changing up the meta right now. Probably not though. Just trying to score a basket, it seems. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have actually Dumbass conceding on the Hanzo there. Possibly, their comp there was quite weird. They had a Hanzo, McCree, Soldier, and Junkrat with a Winston and Mercy. Now they have maybe one more healer. This could possibly work. And now they are running what you might call close to a meta dive, possibly except for the Junkrat on this control map. But other than that, their comp is a lot more standard, instead of HaVee Dimension.
Yeah, Dumbass takes a lot of damage early from Farah. Cypherex more or less being bait as the enemy team tries to push in. Trying to just make a lot of space for Fenrir. But not doing anything, he's hiding in the back, letting his team get killed by side.
Then Cypherex picks up two, both supports going down to his final hit, as well as Fenrir picking up penetration. Yeah. SK does trade one back on the soldier with a hit on this attack, forcing him out of mech, but the Salt and SK goes down.
Zarya dying? I don't think. This fight still went the way of. Mostly because of Cypherex managing to pick up both support players.
Symmetra got trapped out by penetration because they got to the point somehow, I believe, before the enemy team. Symmetra walked right into the trap and got picked. But then, as you say, Cypherex did so much work to equalize that fight, and he's done so much work, even more penetration, probably getting a bit overextended, and forced out with a combo of Fenrir and Cypherex taking him down.
An early barrage is online for Fenrir. He's going to look for something here. Graviton Surge not coming up anytime soon. They're probably not going to be planning on a combo with that. He sees a chance for a barrage, but it's too late. He goes down.
taken down. We do see Cypherex with his tactical visor. There is a D.Va alive, and they have to get her out of mech before he can use it. But he can't use it when he's dead. The soft dives him and isolates him out. And now we have Tranquility being experienced outside of dimension. Dumbass using his Transcendence, and now we have Warspec getting very close to the bomb, and SK having that visor to be used. A breakdown comes out from Slicker's Pie, and every single second this fight lasts, the closer Cypherex gets to coming back and using that visor. Penetration takes out Slicker's Pie, and the Telco visor activates. Cypherex comes back. He's been allowed back into this fight. Can he get anything? It looks like Warspec doesn't have a DM on the left.
There's one target that Winston gets to. That's Primal Rage. Cypherex not quite doing enough to take the stack. SK uses his visor, even though Cypherex is good aim. Does not do enough.
This point is so close to being captured. If they step off this point for a moment, One Piece, they're going to have it be captured. As Slicker's Pie dies, only Ephemerate, and they do capture it. 75%. Probably some of the strongest we've seen HaVee in this series, except from their one map win. Do you get the point before it reaches 99? We saw a lot of games that went to 99 with HaVee getting those last push kills with ults. Here we see an even ult advantage being utilized for both sides. And the penetration kind of isolated, needs saving by the soft. Uses his tire, goes right in, picks off two! Penetration.
That's crucial. Penetration.
And forces D.Va's out of mech. Really is any...
he goes down. Maybe it was ill advised trying to push out there.
He did live up to his name though, really doing exactly what his name says he will. Going right into their line, forcing them to push out on him, and then using his tire to kill.
Interestingly, Penry decides to switch the Pharah to a... he must have felt that he was getting discorded too much, perhaps getting shut down by the soldier. It's really hard to say exactly why he did that. I would have not called that switch. I think that
this guy and War's Effect, sorry, uses his self-destruct picks off too. There's going to be enough ults for this fight. They've already won this with a lovely two-man D.Va bomb, as well as the stop picking up Stardust on that Mercy, and Discotech being forced out of mech, and SK killing Slicker's Pie. It's not only Discotech left, he does get executed by SK. But look at the ults for the other side. I believe Symmetra is going to be able to combo with Discotech. Possibly, yeah, Symmetra and Discotech can combo the Zyra and D.Va ults together to try and eliminate the enemy team, and on the other side they have a res from Loki Doki and a visor from SK. So Symmetra needs to hit a good graph here, probably needs to get it combo with Discotech, and probably needs to catch the Mercy in it. Other than that, they'll get resed, and probably Discotech also needs to be able to DM SK's visor. Now Symmetra going highly offensive. Keep an eye for this person. She does put a graph down, and the 7 treatment instantly activated. Discotech does do exactly that. Picks off two. North Force out of mech, with a resurrection comes up for both teams. Stardust and Loki both rezzing two. This fight is around about even, with Berovic getting one and Dumbass getting the other. That's a Zenyatta rot from Dumbass, trying to get the team alive, but Warriors Effect goes down. Anyway, now a tactical visor from SK. He has to, from Cypherex, sorry, has to close this. Doesn't think about SK, but gets two picks on the Dumbass and the Sock. It's now only really Loki Doki and SK left, and they're going to give them the point. 75% is what the point was captured on there. Now, Loki Doki actually staying alive with SK, trying to stay up here, trying to stay alive, both using their pistols, both using their weapons to try and get this touch on the point eventually when it comes. They can stay alive here, they can touch it, they can force overtime. Now a tire coming out from penetration to fly into the point. On the other thing about Ephemerate, very close there. But look how close that point is. If they jump over this for a second, it's going to be captured for the side of HaVee Dimension. And now a tactical wise from SK, picks up Stardust, going to get anything more. Penetration picks up two, another from SK. Onto Symmetra, penetration picks up two as well. And now it's so close here. Cypherex at some point uses the pulse bomb, can't get anything, and that was captured by HaVee Dimension. Discotech's going to have to jump in here and try and get this for as long as they can. Try to survive, gets knocked out of mech, gets isolated between the D.Va and the Winston. Ephemerate now gets on. It's a game of contest at this point, and can Slicker's Play makes Slicker's Play immediately.
They're not going to make it.
He was so close there, on the edge of the point. Maybe if we hit maybe one more wall ride, if it maybe even SK on Lucio, he could have got there, but it's 2-2. HaVee Dimension with a more conventional comp, take it 99 to 99, and now we're going in to the final map, the first map still of this best of three, first map of the finals, and this is the decider. We see a small switch, Dumbass going on to Lucio and SK going on to Pharah. I mean, when we see Ephemerate going on to Pharah as well, and Cypherex deciding to stick on that soldier after he switched it out on the past round onto Tracer.
Fenrir going back to his Pharah. I think that's the best call here. He was doing pretty well on that, and it shut down penetration a lot more. You saw after he went back to the Reaper, penetration started to do a lot more. Which I think was a big reason that they lost that last point. Penetration was allowed to kind of do penetration's own thing. Nice direct coming out from Fenrir and the Mercy, not able to follow up on it though.
And now we see...
Low.
Someone's getting very low there, as well as Waterspec getting chunked down to half here. Waterspec really acting kind of as the front line for the side of Hyperdimension here, as the Sock is needing healing after taking some damage early in the fight. They know that Hyperdimension are having point control. If they can block from this point, they can't. But every single second Hyperdimension down this point and one pierce don't. They do cap it, and now every single tick of this fight, every single second, will mean a tick up.
Nice
for
kill. Fenrir wins the Pharah duel, kills SK. This might be the chance for
the penetration knocks this can take out of net and ends up, I think, knocking her off instead of the map, surely. And now it's 14%.
And has Barrage. Here is his chance to turn the fight back. He has it. Going to press.
And Sifrix also has the
visor. Chance. The Diva's at a mech. He presses Q. They all.
Oh, Fenrir! It's full Fenrir!
However, Loki Doki has the res.
Look at it goes with a 400 res. Oh my god! Look at the 400 res after Fenrir's. Oh man!
It's huge.
Barrage, but now Sifrix uses his visor.
Maybe not.
Sifrix uses visor there. Doesn't really get anything as the Sock knocks off Symmetra, but when he's doing his scan, Sifrix picks off SK now. Really uncontested edge of this point. Now penetration using that tire, gonna fly back in. Doesn't pick off anything. As Stardust and Pepper do evade that. It looks like it's going in favor of Hyperdimension. Snicker's probably the only one really contesting point. Sifrex and the Pharmacy combo running there from another. Fenrir with another barrage, charging this so quickly. Picks off the Sock and penetration. Fenrir, you go!
Yeah, Fenrir's just getting so much damage, spamming this Winston and Diva that are just sitting in these hallways. Yeah, one rocket into this hallway gives him 10% ult charge because of all the people it's hitting with splash damage.
Well, you've got to remember, despite the amazing fight from One Piece, because the point was captured by Hyperdimension, because they left that point, they already have 50%, meaning they have a bit of leeway to work with. It's not just been captured. Hyperdimension do have the advantage still.
My ultimate is charging.
Going in here, we're going to see Symmetra being very close to the Graviton as well as Discotheque powering that Diva. They could combo those again to some success as Loki Doki reaches back to that res. SK picks off Cypher. It's a good opening for the side of Hyperdimension, and the Substitution goes down, can't get anything as Symmetra picks up penetration. And then the Pharah duels come out, the Pharah's trade. SK picks up Stardust, but then Pharah picks off SK. And now it's Snicker Spy really only left on point for One Piece. Symmetra and Discotheque coming to support as Pharah drops down to the Sock. Aura's effect force out mech as the Sock comes back on point now. A Graviton surge from Symmetra, possibly to close out this fight, and a Diva bomb from Discotheque. It's not well timed, and they can't get anything. Discotheque actually jumps off the edge and kills herself.
Diva, Symmetra gets knocked off the map by the Sock's Winston ult.
And we also saw Sifrex
comes
use
back
his
in.
visor.
She does have res. Doesn't look like she's gonna win. SK picks
We did see Sifrex use his visor there, but then get shut down by SK's barrage as kind of a counter. And SK won that kind of duel. And then we see Hyperdimension doesn't take the point back, and they're already holding this lead, especially with the point captured. 64 to 72 now, and you see the team of Hyperdimension having this lead and having the commandeering lead right now, but it's only Loki Doki's ult available as Fenrir picks up SK. That's a good opening for the side of One Piece. It looks like they're going to be looking for the dive to begin with as the Sock drops in onto the background.
Barrage available. He's probably going to use it now.
And Fenrir with the barrage. Can he get anything? He does get damage, but does get picked off by all the
doesn't matter.
Res by Stardust. Penetration comes in with a tie, picks up the baby Discotheque, and now penetration right into their backline. Knocks off Sifrex. His penetration trying to do so much work in this backline. Ends up getting killed by Sticker Spires. Symmetra picks up War's effect. And now it looks like it's going in favor of One Piece. They did hit 99%, did.
One Piece has the fight, except Loki Doki has the res. Here it comes.
Picks up penetration of War's effect, get res. Dumbass gets knocked
boots off
Symmetra.
Knocks off Symmetra off the map. That's brutal.
SK picks off Stardust, and Stardust was not close to that res, but obviously could charge it if time was allowed. Now penetration again on this backline, focusing on the Diva. Snickers punch on the point along with Sifrex on this Tracer. In terms of also penetration getting very close to Tarek, and he could wipe them with this, but he does die to Farabay's mind, and there's so much post-death penetration gets 2 kills. As well as the swapping of Sifrex, and they take
there
it.
Goes the map. Map is taken.
Hyperdimension 3-2 on the first map. And that is still only 1-0 in this series. We still have a possible 2 maps to play or 1 map if Hyperdimension do take this next one. The next map is going to be one Pierce's pick. And as we see,
this was a really nice play. Picks up 2, goes for a 3rd on Mercy and Firing Soul.
So, who is your MVP for that game?
I'm not in it for the glory.
I know that his team lost, but my MVP is Cyphrex. Cyphrex, I feel like, did the most out of anyone, but his team wasn't really able to follow up on really the map he was putting. Alternatively, SK on Hyperdimension did so much on his Pharah just throughout the entire game. Managed to be putting in a ton of damage. I think that sometimes Fenrir got the better of him, especially on the last map, but he was able to be so consistent in damage he was.
We also saw a lot of fight training reses from Loki Doki. They're doing quite a good job to keep his team alive and keep his team from losing in really important fights as well. And he also allowed probably SK to get some leverage on that Mercy and dominate in a few of the rounds.
That's right. Do we have a second map?
So it's one Pierce's pick.
Yes, one Pierce gets map.
So what would you like one Pierce to choose here? Probably, we said at the start of the series they are probably the stronger dive-based team, with Damas having to probably flare on the Hanzo, but as we saw on that map, Hyperdimension seemed to kind of outdive them towards the end there. So we might want to see them possibly pick up Hanamura or the like to try and
I think that I want to see some maps where Soldier's really good at, since it seemed to me that Cyphrex was definitely getting the better of any Soldier duels. He was convincingly the better Soldier here, and SK, when he played a Soldier versus when he was playing as Pharah, wasn't playing as well. So I want to see a map that Soldier is really good on. A map where high ground is really strong. Perhaps Dorado might be really good for them. I think
you could see
that
Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yes, Watchpoint Gibraltar could work out very well. Perhaps Volskaya might work really well. Maps that I find Soldier really good on.
Volskaya, and they do, as you say it, they
choose
pick up
there
Volskaya Industries. And they do have a player called Symmetra, and wouldn't be surprised if they keep to their namesake and do pick up the cheese Symmetra here on Volskaya Industries.
Are we ready to begin?
Looks like Hyperdimension do need a quick wait. Only a wait of a few seconds though, as we jump right into Volskaya Industries. Hyperdimension having a 1-0 lead after a 3-2 victory on the pool in the OverPUGS final. So we are seeing Damas. We did see Hyperdimension with Volskaya previously in their first round matchup, and they did do quite well, I believe. They did full hold the entire map.
And then they were pretty close at the end of the time, but they managed to take it. So
I believe they took it in they full held and then took one tick in about 2 minutes, I believe. So they ended up winning on Volskaya previously. Obviously, the team of One Piece don't know this, as they didn't see their game, but possibly One Piece might be in for a negative surprise when they see that Hyperdimension do have practice as a team on this map. And as we said before, the player known as Symmetra is picking up Symmetra on the Volskaya defense.
It's no surprise that Cyphrex plays Soldier. Very strong in this point. The high ground can be very difficult to him holding it. I like the Eva pick here. I think that that'll allow them to easily transition between high grounds. I'm a bit suspicious of the Arya pick, since the upside of it is that
shields.
You might get some good charge, because we
of
know
the Junkrat.
They like to run Junkrat, they like to run Pharah, they might like run Hanzo. But Zarya is not in the best spot at the moment. Running her without either a Winston or Reinhardt is usually pretty sus.
And there's no shield to protect them from Damas penetration and SK is damaged. They have nothing to hide behind at this point except from Fenrir's body. And so it's either kill or be killed at this rate, I believe. And as they start to march toward the choke, the shock shield going up, but instantly being shredded down by Cyphrex. But he does hit charge onto Discozep, but does get killed straight away by Fenrir, probably overextending with that, really his team support there. And it looks like One Piece do just win that fight, and Symmetra, what a quick teleporter charge.
Very nice.
Already having it available.
I think that Stardust's Mercy really needs to be focusing on pocketing Cyphrex. Cyphrex does so much damage, and if D.Va and Zarya play safely, they can be self-sustaining with the Go and Zarya's self shields. Especially once Symmetra gets a teleporter up, you can cover. A nice kill, Cyphrex picks up from penetration. Looks to the Pharah flying above. The Pharah is flanking behind for that teleporter. So is the Hanzo. They don't know where it is yet, but they may.
They are getting sort of a clue on where it could be. There is obviously an audio when SK finds it. So some magic teleport goes down as well as the stopping of Slicker's Pie. This is the opening. That's what happened to Magic Means. Well,
dumbass.
It's Cyphrex. Dumbass takes a Cyphrex, and now a shatter. A hammer down from the stock with a Dragon's combo from Dumbass. Picks up the Mercy from Thalos. He did have that res available, and that does mean it's much harder for the side of One Piece to win this. So Fenrir using an interesting graviton that he wasted it.
Comes out, I wouldn't have used either of those ults. I would have just saved both of them for a second. But especially the Junkrat player team, they honestly already won that fight.
I mean, we saw Fenrir use the graviton there with probably to just switch off the character and wanted to use it just in case they could pull off something. As Symmetra then switches out to Zarya and Fenrir moves to the Genji. So now we're going to be seeing
a bit of a really powerful ult that I wouldn't use like that.
Yeah, it's a questionable decision. So now, in terms of ults, the attacking side, Loki Doki's res is available and SK's barrage available. There's no other ults being close anymore. On the defensive side, they're close to really everything except from Dragon Blade and Zarya Graviton. So the Sock sitting up on this high ground here, his team supporting from behind him. Finally drops down, gonna go for a quick engage, and Slicker's Fly gets booped off by SK as SK uses the Rocket Barrage to pick up Cyphrex as he uses his tactical visor.
And Fenrir picks up Dumbass too. Fenrir just doing
doing a
so
lot
much
of work.
attention here.
Equalizing this fight.
Now that they've got a res off, they should be able to win this fight by slowly stacking now. Fenrir being crucial here to pick up Loki, Goku before he manages.
And now it's just penetration left on point. Does die to Cyphrex, and we saw Cyphrex did use his visor there early on, but did get flanked out by SK and got his visor shut down by a Pharaoh.
Thunder coming up on this Dragon Blade here could be very useful. There's not too much in this town. Careful of the Mercy and try and get her out before stop. This is a big opportunity for Thunder.
On the other side, they are getting quite close to Anna. Let's take out Anna, and Fenrir doing a lot of work in this game, really harassing in the backline, and no one's really contesting him at this point. And he gets out completely scot-free. But then again, the side of Hyperdimension are close to some of their ults, but Fenrir again doing so much work. He doesn't even need a Dragon Blade at this point. As Cyphrex takes out Dumbass, Fenrir just being completely immune. Not being picked off here, just the Zio was coming from Symmetra, keeping him alive, and he just takes out the healers one by one, forcing massive trickles onto the enemy team.
My ultimate is charging.
Now Fenrir again in this backline does dash away, gets shooted by Symmetra.
Still got Dragon Blade, he never needed to do any of them.
And that allows the rest of his team to get close to their ults. It allows them actually to charge up that graviton. And now they're using dragons and a Junkrat Tire, two ults that can really be good at zoning. Neither of them really getting much though. They do force them off to the point. They do allow Hyperdimension to get onto this point as the Sock hits a charge. Onto the second point now, tactical visor from SK versus Fenrir's Blade, and tactical visor from SK picks up forward a resurrection from Stardust. Doesn't pick up Fenrir though. Fenrir is still dead, he slows up, and he had to use that blade as well. Now Discotech chucks a D.Va bomb out, does pick up Dumbass after the Sock shatter. And now the Sock trying to hammer away. Tactical visor from Cyphrex now. Canning anything, picks up SK, and only the Sock left on point. Kings of War is a very now just looking at the doesn't pick up SK there. He does actually have to respawn instead, and now penetration is back in the fight. Now probably a 4-on-6 at this point, as the team has been allowed to regroup. One Piss are back in this fight, and they are back with a vengeance. Fenrir picks up War's effect. This good tech picks up Loki. Fenrir kills off penetration, and Symmetra defeats the Sock.
Nice
And
respect on
Dumbass.
Fenrir killing
Fenrir
Hanzo.
did so much work here.
Fenrir is definitely.
Fenrir was he was already a stand-up player for the side of One Piece, and now he's really the player for One Piece, doing so much work in the Genji here. Now they haven't even picked a Winston to counter him out, the Sock being forced to switch off of the Reinhardt there. Possibly is even more in vain with their comp is the Winston as well, and now Fenrir being dived on by the Winston straight away.
Fenrir was played. Last time we didn't see him really get anything out of it. He pulled it out to try and kill a soldier and Anna, but died to surprise
But
him.
he dies to penetration. Symmetra does have the Graviton here. We haven't seen great Graviton Symmetra so far, but this could be the exception. Penetration goes over the tire, can't get much, and Stardust resurrects Fenrir. This could be to combo the Graviton Surge with the Blade, and now a Tactical Visor coming out from SK. Can it get anything into a B-drop? It flies, and it can't get anything at all after Disco Dex. And now exactly what I thought of Fenrir, the Graviton Surge. The combo with Loki Doki isn't in the graph. Loki Doki is still alive in the background, gets a 3-man res. This fight is still even as bad, and it's not even no more because SK picks up Symmetra. Dumbass falls into the mech and kills Fenrir. Dumbass gets up Stardust. Dumbass doing so much work. Slicker's quite trapped in the drone trap, and now they win the point. They should get at least a tick here.
Mercy's not in it.
And they're gonna get possibly 2 ticks. Symmetra is the first to get back onto the objective. And Trace there as well. SK takes out Symmetra, and now it's Fenrir trying to get as much as they can. As Sifrix and Second Spire trying to push back on. Fenrir goes down, it's only Sifrix on the objective. But now Stardust is back. Stardust close that red, doesn't get taken out. But Disco Tech with the Scepter sequence, the Winston doesn't have bubble and takes on Lucky Doki. Lucky Doki was already close to that res as well. And now it looks like
One Piece is going to pick back this fight slowly. They lost 2 ticks though, so no longer possible to tie this game.
Walrus Effect and the Sock staying in probably too long than they're supposed to, as Walrus Effect's going to get madly trickled here, not going it in, probably allowing himself to play the correct play. He's not going to get back for this final fight.
Yeah, Fenrir coming up with a pulse
Instead,
bomb.
he's going to be...
If he gets his pulse bomb up and lands it, that is game over. Right then.
And Stardust also with this res. I mean, Loki Doki does have the res for the side, and if the pulse bomb does completely wipe them, Loki Doki can resurrect.
Nice.
But Fenrir picks up penetration. That might have to be a tempo res. But SK picks up Disco Tech. This is still an even fight. But now the pulse bomb comes out, can't get anything though. And a self-destruct sequence activated from the Warriors Effect, can't get anything though. And now this overtime is ticking away bit by bit. SK with the deposit is frozen by Sifrix before he can use it. Doesn't die to the freezes. Dumbass with a true-man.
Doing a visor
Dragon Blade, and now Sifrix shouting freeze, I moved, get off my point, Donjo, pushy to.
That's the edge. No.
The Sock gets back on, and time for penetration, this needs to be huge, can't get anything though, Fenrir doing so much work here, and I know we can get on, penetration was close, but couldn't make it.
It's possible to tie this game. I think that One Piece is going to win, but don't let me cast or curse this, come on.
So this is, we are 1-0 in favor of Happy Dimension. If you're just tuning in, we just had Happy Dimension's attack, pushed the first point with relative ease, and then got stuck on the second, only getting 79.3%. So, if One Piece push it through first and take second, they take it to a third map, and if Happy Dimension can full hold to either of the points and stop them from getting that tick, they win the game. They win this week's North American OverPUGS Finals. So the comps being picked up here, it seems like One Piece are picking up what can be considered the default comp on the attack at this point. Sifrix either playing Sword or Tracer, Fenrir on the Genji, Snicker's Power on Lucio, Disco Tech on Diva, Stardust on Mercy, and Symmetra on Zaya. Meanwhile, we have on the other side we have kind of a bit more of a abnormal comp. SK playing McCree, Boris Effect on Orisa, Dumbass on Torbjorn, Lucky Doki on Mercy Penetration, on Jumper, and the Sock on Winston.
They're going for the same comp that they ran earlier on defense, however with the only swap being SK on the McCree. I assume that they're worried about Fenrir running Pharah, but looks like they're not going to run that, they're going to run Really hard to say who wins this. I think Symmetra. Symmetra, the Zarya is going to get a million charge here easily because of all the spam here. Really hard to say if that's going to help them enough.
I mean, Symmetra did hit a lovely grab on that last point. Hasn't been maybe hitting the gravitons they would like to be hitting the entire game, but has towards the end of this game hitting more and more effective ones. So, Hyperdimension with this more cheesy comp looking to try and cheese out the side of One Piece. As we see Sifrix here for a long flank, going to move straight to that point from the high ground as his team fights a choke. Sifrix on that high ground as the Sock and Discotheque trade blows at the front runners. Fenrir goes down 2 walls effect, the Snicker Spy gets trapped. Penetration picks up Discotheque, forced that Almec as he dies to Snicker Spy. And now it looks like it's going to be slightly in favor of Hyperdimension as SK now looking for kill on Symmetra. He's dived by Sifrix. Misses his flashbang on Sifrix onto the Tracer. Looks like the Tracer will be backing off though. Possibly scared and respecting SK's McCree, and it needs to be respected. He picks off Stardust. It's going to slow down One Piece's push, especially after Symmetra gets taken down despite being such a charge. SK doing so much work here on this McCree. Going now behind them is SK after Fenrir is too deep on the point, gets taken out by Dumbass, and now One Piece really slowed down here. 3 heroes in this side room bullying SK, but now they're really isolated from their team. In this left side room, being chunked down, now starting to move out to point, take this high ground. The penetration is up here, doing so much damage to Vivo.
Goes down to Cycloid. Cycloid has a bomb, sticks to Orisa, but dies.
Dies to the Junkrat, yes, so not going to slow them down. Slicker Spy uses a great Attire comes out. Can it get anything? No. Now penetration, trying to stay alive in this small alcove, gets picked up by Symmetra. A res comes up for Lucky Dick, but he doesn't pick up penetration. There's only a 1 on res, there's still 1 man down. Dumbass using Molten Core, checking out armor as much as he can. Trying to get leeway. SK with a 3-man high noon, picks up Stardust, Fenrir, and Slicker Spy. Discotheque shuts down Dumbass. Now it's Cyphex, really, and Cyphex really
by himself.
Yeah, Discotheque for support now.
Dies to Cyphex.
No, it looks like somehow.
Use his ult to try and stall out a little bit longer, try and get his team back to the point. Cyphex gets put in a trap! He manages to die. This might open up the door. Come back in.
Despite
I don't think so. The ult and how far away he's
Penetration can contest this though. Despite that 3-man high noon, they do take the fight thanks to Cyphex and mechanical skilling in getting some kills. Now penetration comes to the point, does get picked off right away, and they can get a steamroll off of this. With the Junkrat down, they have a small time frame with the Graviton Surge and the Pulse Bomb to roll their team.
Compared to their nothing. This is their window. If they miss this and use all those ults and don't win it, they're gonna have a long.
Now Symmetra going right in. One of those packs to the nose, he gets in the ultra with Fenrir! Capitalizes on the Graviton Surge there. Picks up both you and SK and another.
Picks up
5.
Should be it.
Surely, they just capitalized on penetration overextension.
This map goes.
I think that kind of, although penetration did get picked off, and you can attribute the loss to that. Also, we did see some great combination and a great Graviton Symmetra for the side of One Piece to capitalize on the mistake penetration there.
This is gonna be Reaper right at the end. There it is.
So off of the steamroll, off the pick on the penetration with all the ults they had, the Graviton Surge and the Death Blossom. But even a Pulse Bomb got used as well. Completely shredded through all of them really, did Fenrir here. Just because of the Junkrat pick, it allowed them to take that 5v6 fight, allowed them to carry the confidence in there and went the enemy team with the Graviton. Especially good was how Loki Doki with, I believe, close that direction did get caught in that Graviton as well and got killed by Fenrir. So it is Hyperdimension's map pick going into the 3rd and final map here. Going instantly for a King's Row pickup here. The final map.
Okay.
The decider for this best of 3. Possibly in terms of the map, I feel like it could be kind of a neutral ground for both teams. Neither team seeming to be better on King's Row than the other one, from what I understand. None of them.
I think this one's an interesting one, since King's Row is one of Zarya's best maps, which you might think that would favor One Pierce, with Symmetra being a pretty capable Zarya player as well as Fenrir. However, on attack King's Row, it also very much favors Fair Mercy. Even you can play it on defense, which I think favors SK and Okie Dokie. We'll see who decides to run. Junkrat's also fairly good in defense this map.
We did see Dumbass pick up Widow for a split second on the pool there, and we also saw him take up Hanzo. And Hanzo isn't something to be snuffed at on King's Row. He is
Hanzo's
quite
very
useful.
good on attack King's Row, so.
So 1-1, going in to the final matchup, the decider onto King's Row. Hyperdimension versus One Pierce here. One Pierce looking to take the lead after a win on Volsky after a lovely steamroller thanks to Symmetra's Graviton. So we're going to be seeing One Pierce on the attack here. Fenrir picking up what looks like a Widow pick. Sifrex on the Tracer, Stickers Pi on the Lucio. Discotheque will probably pick up the Diva. Symmetra will play Zarya, and Stardust will play the Mercy. And on the defense, we see Dumbass picking up Torbjorn, Lucky Doki on his Mercy. Penetration probably conceding the Junkrat pick. They're going to, well, looks like a Lucio instead. We see the Sock on Reinhardt, Warriors effect on Diva, and SK on McCree. But Discotheque actually does pick up a Sombra here. An interesting decision. The final map, they bring out something we haven't seen at all in this tournament before. A Sombra dive comp being picked up here.
Really?
Unless it's a troll pick, which, in today's current meta, it isn't. Sombra is very, very good. Or maybe not one of her best maps, King's Row, but she is very good on certain maps. So what do you think about the Sombra on King's Row?
Sombra on King's Row. Attack Sombra is very good. You saw a little while back when Complexity was around, you saw them run this a lot. The basic strategy is you sit on top of the Mega Health Pack in Cinema, and just sit
we got
there.
pranked.
Never mind.
It's Diva.
That's disappointing.
They pranked.
Sombras.
That's so disappointing.
I thoroughly enjoy Sombra on this map. Still Widowmaker. I want to watch the Widowmaker.
Fenrir trying to get a snipe off here, You see a lot of Widows playing on King's Row because it's quite easy to get an opening pick with that free spawn high ground. It's pretty safe and it's not really, and it's quite an easy, quick switch available.
Yeah, long sight lines. What's he gonna switch to? He's gonna go to Genji. I always enjoy watching some Genji plays. A Genji main myself. Fenrir has been pretty good. I'm doing a lot on Genji, partially because the enemy team has punching him, but a lot of it's because of his own personals. SK tries to punish the Genji, but wastes flashbang, so that's gonna mean Genji's gonna be a lot taken by it on himself. Tries to pick up Torbjorn, but he's gonna go down shortly.
We're seeing One Pierce make we're seeing One Pierce take a sharp execute onto the point. Symmetra picks off Dumbass's turret and Dumbass himself as Warriors effect trades back, killing Discotheque's mech. Another fight is really just a swarm of players on the point now. But no one seems to get a leeway yet. People getting over, people being healed directly back up. Fenrir going right into that backline, trying to pick up the top, trying to pick up Lucky Doki. But it looks like he is able to. Symmetra finally kills Lucky Doki, and that's going to give the opening.
Fenrir about to get a Dragon Blade up too. High Noon canceled. He knows he's going to get deflected as soon as he shoots.
Now Pulse Bomb. There's so many ults. A Pulse Bomb comes out from Sifrex onto Diva. Can't kill War's effect there, but the fight is still opening up. It looks like it should be in favor of the side of
Blade comes out. Fenrir dies to Walrus effects bomb. But
I was gonna say this was in favor of One Pierce, but HaVee are coming back right into this fight. The defensive side here, spinning about on the point of the sock. They all got back here. Everyone picks up SK and Sifrex shuts out. Then a Graviton
into a Graviton surge.
Perfect
That
timing.
should be off.
Only Ward's effect left, taken out finally by, I believe, Fenrir mainly. But it took One Pierce longer than I think we expected. They did have quite a good contest in Hyperdimension. And now we see, I believe that's Sifrex playing quite aggressively here. trying to get some harassment, trying to get a pick,
But
trying to open something up
looks
for
like
his
he's gonna
team.
go down to the Pharah. There it is. Dumbass managed to take him out.
So that gives the side.
Yeah, that gives Hyperdimension some breathing. Now that Fenrir's dead, that's one of the main threats out of the question. Now they're smart. I would say if they try and push into them. But now that Fenrir's back to spawn, they really lost their opportunity there. Second point King's Row is actually really good for trying to spawn camp the enemy team, considering that there's very close high ground, very strong. However, they lost that opportunity. Barrage comes out from Dumbass, picks up 2, and now he's going to take out the deal as well.
I'm going to mention 4 pick 5 up in this fight.
2
Stardust res is 2.
That's a mistake. I greatly disagree with that res. They were already down that fight. They only picked up 2. That's changing a fight that they had already lost into a fight that they were about to lose. That was a mistake.
Symmetra, again, playing probably maybe a bit too aggressive here, walking towards them, then more respect doing the exact same thing. Playing hyper aggressively, getting very low and gets forced out of mech straight away. But meanwhile, we see just stop, take out Fenrir, and now a Diva Bomb from Discotheque knocks out Loki Doki, and he did have that res of Loki Doki. So that's gonna swing the fight in favor of One Piece as Sifrex picks off SK. Fight is still going on the payload here, but it looks like it is in favor of One Piece. But now a bomb is dropped. One more effect.
He has a blink. He might use it here.
We do see Loki Doki making his way back to the spawn as well. He's going to be probably here in time to maybe clear up the fight, maybe hit a res. But we do see other dimensions.
Fenrir takes out Dumbass, wins the 1v1. Now,
and now the Sock is just contesting this payload. The Sock with his primal rage contesting this payload, going to back out here. And he did give other dimensions some time to work with. And he instantly gets res after Sifrex uses bomb without Fenrir. That was the perfect cue for him on that Dragon Blade. A high noon. I believe that was from SK, can't get anything though. And now this payload fight is still going on. Hyperdimension getting back here as Fenrir gets taken out by SK. Surely this is going in favor of Hyperdimension.
Managing to pick up Fenrir, but
Discotheque picks off Loki Doki. Not staying alive as much as he wants to on Mercy here as Stardust. One man raises Fenrir. He's going in deep, versing SK as Symmetra. And wins the duel against SK. Symmetra picks off the Sock. And now, I would mention, really being rolled with the street phase, never really fully regrouping. And now penetration forcing the keep himself and War Respect alive. War Respect jumps to contest. But the payload gets it pushing anyway as Cypher.
Bomb on the flying Pharah. That was impressive. Cypher managed to stick a pulse bomb to the Pharah while she was midair. That's some impressive tracer play right there.
And what we saw there was Hyperdimension seemed to be kind of never fully regrouped with the entire streets phase there. Now Fenrir being straight countered by Dumbass, trying to be frozen away. He can't obviously deflect the Ice Beam of May, but SK does finally finish him off. Now this is going in favor of Hyperdimension. SK, another one Stardust. We've seen go on this far. Been so clinical with this so far in this series, and he's got to do more. Sifrex picks up War's effect with his pulse bomb, and now he's in the back line trying to pick up
Hoops back toward his team. There is no escape. Pick damage boosted rockets that fly everywhere. Symmetra dies to a rocket, even though she had like 150 health.
Penetration picks off the out of mic Discotheque. A small, slight triple. Gonna delay them by, a slight few seconds, which could also mean the difference in the final. But then we have Fenrir.
See, this is what I was talking about. Offensive Pharah Mercy coming out. This is where I think that Hyperdimension is favored.
You have the Resurrection for Loki Doki, and they're close to SK's Barrage, as well as Water Effects Diva Bomb. But then you have Fenrir being very close to that Dragon Blade. He's using it straight away, diving right onto Loki Doki.
Lucio, not able to pick up Loki Doki. Loki Doki has to stay alive.
The Resurrects. Now we have the Sock using his primal rage on the payload, trying to keep his team in. As a breakdown comes out, penetration, trying to keep his team alive. And now a Diva Bomb comes down.
Oh, a nice boop from Slickest by. Oops, Fenrir right into the Diva ult. That was some nice play.
But a 3-man res on us, keeping his team alive here. Force effect, forces Discotheque out of mech, and now Discotheque trying to stay alive in an mech situation. But a grab on the from Symmetra, his team isn't here, nothing to combo with it. Does pick off the Sock due to it, but Fenrir dies himself after getting that kill. But Sifrex has switched onto that soldier, gone off of that tracer, and is now countering SK's Pharah. Takes him down and now has a visor available, and he uses it straight away. Gonna go for it. Being DM'd by War's effect though, can't get anything. Never mind, he does. He actually eventually gets penetration with the last vestiges of that thing. And now Dumbass using his blizzard does believe get Slippers Pie due to that, but War's effect now left on payload with only SK and the SOC to support him. The SOC trying to stay alive, really not being focused on this period, burning the time down bit by bit. This Winston is not dying, and his Mercy is now back, and he picks off Stardust. Stardust, what's the
just does not die.
And now Fenrir using a Dragon Blade, nearly got stripped down by Loki, but does pick him off, and that was Loki with the res. The Mercy could have res them there, but he doesn't, as he is dead. But now a self-destruct sequence from Waterbeck with a 3-man!
Self-destruct.
Hyperdimension, Cyphrex, 1 pierce, only one left on the payload, being shut down. He has Stardust with him now, trying to keep him alive. That's Stardust, but he does get taken down, and now surely 1 pierce can't go back on this objective. They can't. And Hyperdimension turn around what looked like an abysmal performance to a hold on the 3rd point.
Score 0-2.
Do you think that Hyperdimension can push that far?
I think they can. I think that Hyperdimension definitely has the advantage here. Dumbass, his Hanzo is going to be very effective, especially in attack first point. The Fair Mercy is going to be extremely effective. Fenrir really can't play his Genji against that. He can try to do it to counter the Hanzo, but Fenrir was honestly getting destroyed by the Fair Mercy. And his blades were also a bit lackluster. He rarely got more than 1 kill and really did ults out. He oftentimes lost track of targets and died before he managed to do much. However, he was being very effective outside of his blades, but was unable to get much value out of it. I think that yes, Fenrir has to play the Tracer to be effective, and that's not as good since he's not as good as Tracers. At least from what we've seen so far.
Would you see Fenrir going onto that Tracer for that Genji, like you said, kind of almost like he's got a tune on the cast here, reading what we're about to say. But yeah, we see the side of 1 Pierce going to be taking the high ground on this defense here. It looks like Discotheque going up high, and then we have on the other side, maybe not what you might call meta. SK playing Widow, Dumbass on the Hanzo. Both good picks on the original point.
I'm sure that SK is going to switch the Pharaoh within a couple seconds. Maybe after first pick. I would be extremely surprised to see SK not play Pharaoh at some point.
Yeah, I mean, this is arguably the Widow map and the Far Mercy map, and probably one of the Hanzo maps that, you know, each of those characters are good on.
It's not the Widow map. The Widow map is Ilias Root.
No, the Widow map is Temple Maneuvers. First point.
Yeah, fair. Ruins is better for it.
Still,
sidelines. This is one of the best hands ever.
Gonna be seeing both teams gonna be trying poking each other, trying to get some leeway as SK, as you say, switches onto that forest straight away after you can't get a pick from the Widow. Gonna be harassing outside Frex, and now, how to mention, marching towards this point. The Sock leading away from that Zarya, and now Discotheque goes in quite deep. Gonna be
Cyprex going to 1 health. And he doesn't manage to get out.
Cyprex gets taken down by SK. That is the opening that I haven't mentioned need, but Fenrir takes a leg of It's gonna slow them down a little bit. But Discotheque does get forced out of mech as well. And penetration doing more than just forcing Discotheque out of mech. Picks off some mech, that's no tanks for the side of 1 Pierce as Dumbass picks up Stardust and SK picks up this fight. A much cleaner fight than what we saw from 1 Pierce on the first attack.
Quick pick for Hyperdimension.
Capping that in, I believe, 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Sorry, 1 minute and 4 seconds, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Either way, they have plenty of time. Cypher switches to the McCree off of the Soldier. Perhaps he thinks that he'll be better able to deal with the Fire Mercy, but I actually agree with that switch. Since they don't have D.Va, they do have D.Va, but they don't have Winston to really put a lot of pressure on McCree.
Dumbass hit a scatter arrow onto Fenrir. Stardust resurrected it, and then Fenrir died again to penetration.
Cypher picks up
But now a Graviton Surge from the Sock picks off some magic due to it, and also resurrecting Loki allows him to stay in here. Cypher, I believe, did actually use his High Noon from the high ground, and he also gets penetration, but does die to Dumbass eventually. Now penetration with the kill on the Discotheque knocks him out of mech. But Fenrir picks up Loki and Dumbass. But SK now using that barrage to pick off Stardust to try and keep the team in this fight. And he also getting Slippers Pie, and he can probably also get disconnect out, get the out, make disconnect, and maybe even Femra here. SK picking up 3 kills. SK picking up 4 kills. SK, doing better than SK did in the major this year. And now it looks like I'm gonna mention do have absolute control over this Street's fate, and they didn't have it over the first point as well. Symmetra looking to go for that contest, probably will make it, as well as Sif's behind Discotheque, but they've got to get close.
That's a lot of charge.
Cypher's good touches. Slickers Spy uses the beat to keep his team alive, as well as Symmetra using Grabson. Only catches the sock though. The sock does die, and then Discotheque uses that people can't get anything though. Also, penetration dumbass going down to Femra and Cypherex. Cypherex is another kill onto SK. It looks like One Piece did salvage this fight out of nothing, and Cypherex getting some other kills, and a left on surge from Symmetra getting 1 as well.
Surprisingly, One Piece does take this back. A lot of that was Cypherex's. Especially the beat came in, allowing him to push up a lot and get some kills without getting burned down fast like pretty often are. I think the Genji switch also did help them, surprisingly, even though Genji's probably not the best. Huh? I want to see how well his Genji does. He does partially counter the Hanzo if he has the skill to win that 1v1. Just based on what we've seen, Fenrir does have a lot of individual skill as Genji.
Now we see the self-destruct sequence from War's Effect, can't get anything though, and now Cypherex, knowing that he was at a mech, tries to use the high noon, can't get anything though because of that DM from War's Effect, and now it looks like Dumbass now using those dragons going right into Fenrir and Cypherex. Cypherex goes down as no more McQueen for the side of One Piece, and SK picks up 2 as well. Dumbass we get another one, this mech with his dragons. Gets a kill in trade. War's Effect picks up Fenrir, SK picks up, and that is most certainly a fight won with 3 minutes and 49 seconds to push it. Really only 2 corners. Hyper Dimension are surely favoured here. Going into this,
we have Dragon Blade and
Fenrir.
Penetration goes down. That's a nice ability pick.
From Fenrir. Fenrir's going for 1 out. The Dragon Blade comes out.
It's able to get the kill with the help of Cypherex.
Discotheque does
himself though. Anything else? While it's effects back does go out.
Discotheque does kill himself.
They're in a good spot.
Discotheque kills himself. Not sure if that was to get himself back in mech, because I'm pretty sure he was in mech. But SK boops off Symmetra. That's gotta be in favour of Hyper Dimension now. The tire goes in, picked up by Cypherex, but it does give him that room. Every single little inch his pillar travels is more and more, and we see the final music. This is the final battle as Dumbass picks up Ziggers by SK onto Fenrir. Discotheque flies in, Cypherex on the payload, flashes Loki Doki, and kills him. Stardust reds that Sticker fly as Fenrir is still dead though. Cypherex coming close to this high noon as well as the soft being on that Graviton Surge. Dumbass.
Very nice, managed to pick up 1, but SK kills.
That's like SK in the end. And now SK with the Rocket Barrage, it's incoming and it picks off Stardust.
Managed to get black. Fenrir managed to get penetration.
Another kill from SK.
They
Penetration doesn't bounce to Fenrir.
SK's just doing so much in the air right now.
And the sock picks up this insect, forcing him out of mech. And now the Graviton Surge comes out. This is surely SK's prime usage. Picks off Symmetra and Discotheque. Only Fenrir left competitive. And the dragons come through. Dumbass's dragon's gonna put Cypherex and Fenrir. That's surely it. SK boops Stickers by into the payload. It's an interesting move. Stardust is still on his payload. Trying to charge up her resurrection.
A little bit longer, but there's 6 up. How are they?
They're 6-2, but how are they living through this? Stardust and Stickers play. Allow the hit to get back. And the evil one comes out. Both evil ones come out. Discotheque picks them out. But he gets resurrection. Now I go on Surge. Fenrir is so close to playing this. Fenrir with the blade. Fenrir with 1. Fenrir, can he get 2? No, the penetration does pick up Stickers by. How did Loki do? How did Stickers play? The penetration with 2. This is so close. Fenrir goes down despite the Helios valiant efforts to contest. Stardust on Stickers play held that for so long. They got their team back in. They got the Graviton. They got the blade. It was all looking good for them, but then penetration clutches it out with a lovely Junkrat tire. And that is the series and the NA OverPUGS for this week. Going to Hyper Dimension. Congratulations to the Sock, SK, War's Effect, Penetration, Loki Doki, and Dumbass. We see Cypherex on his play of the game. Very so well known for being a Pharah counter. And, you know, the Graviton combo being ultra strong. So, Hyper Dimension 2-1 winning the King's Row. a lot of that came down to SK's Farah and Dumbass's Hamza, but we did also see Penetration doing a lot of work on the Junkrat towards the end of that game as well. So,
We have our victor.
have a champion. So, third, who is your MVP of the entire tournament? And I think I know who you're going to say, and you know what, let's count down. Count down and see. Count down from 3, 2, 1, and we'll say who our
Sure.
MVP is, right? 3, 2, 1, SK. Ooh.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree that SK was doing fantastic, but I don't know. Cyphex was always standing out. Though SK was always just floating above his team as fair and killing things, the only time that SK ever died was to SK's McCree.
Yeah, so Cyphex. Yeah, Cyphex. Kind of, it was a game of Cyphex versus SK, and probably Femre versus Dumbass in the way of how much effect they could have on the game in a way. You know, when Femre was playing well, they won. When Cypher was playing well, they won. When SK took the advantage, they won. And when Dumbass took the advantage, they won.
I mean,
but you know,
well, sure. I can see where you're coming from. If you're looking at just who had the most effect in the game, SK, sure. But if I want to look at who am I most individually impressed by, absolutely Cyphex. Cyphex was consistently hitting headshots as McCree. He was getting value out of his McCree, getting value out of his soldier, getting value out of anything he played, even when all of his team was dead around him. And that impressed me.
We have to also, you know, commend Femre, commend Damas. And, you know, the winning team, if I have to mention, and One Piece as well, the teams that were around Cyphex, that were around Femre, that were around Damas, that were around SK, were quite strong teams. You know, I don't think they could have done it without the support network they had. They couldn't have done it without players like Discotech or Smoke. They couldn't have done it without Loki Doki and Penetration. Yeah, it was another great OverPUGS event for the NA side. So, in conclusion, I've been HaVee.
I am third. I have been third.
And thank you for watching.
Greetings. My ultimate is charging.
What is my hotkey for?